everyone, welcome back to the Active Sussex and Reboot programme aimed for teenagers and their families all to take part in. So today we are on week 3, so I'm going to be bringing you a warm-up. As I've said in all the other videos, this is really important to take part in before we start any sort of gymnastics exercises. We're then going to do some stretches for our hip flexors and our quads, and then to finish the session off we will be doing some jumps today, so different gymnastics jumps and shapes in the air. Okay, so to start everything off, make sure that you're in your suitable clothing so you can move around. Also bare feet, just because that's a little bit easier, so you don't slip around. And also have your water nearby too. Okay, so to start off with, we're just going to do some running on the spot, some jumping, just to get nice and warm. Then we'll be going into some strength exercises. Now, for those today, I have a list of 10 different exercises, so we're going to work our way down from 1 to 10, and I also have a dice. So this dice has got different numbers on it. I'm going to roll the dice, and then that is going to tell us how many reps we have to do of that exercise. Okay, so before you get started, make sure you're in a big space. Try not to have anything around you too much. And we're just going to start with jogging. Off we go. So just on the spot today. Just going to keep going, get that heart rate up, and get our muscles nice and warm. Okay, lifting those knees up now. Make sure you're moving your arms as well. Very good. Now we're going to kick bottoms now. So kick backs. Now if you want for this, you can place your hands on your bottoms and see if you can kick your hands every single time. And jogging again. Well done, good. Keep going. And into some jumping. Again, using those arms. And jumping jacks. Get those arms moving at the same time as your legs. And jogging again. Get those knees up. And back to jogging. And we're going to hop on one leg. And swap legs, hopping on the other leg. And jogging. Okay, this time I'm going to run as fast as you can on the spot. Faster. Keep it going. And back to jogging. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to do is squats. Now, when you do squats, make sure your feet are parallel, your feet are apart. You're going to bend your knees, let your bottom go nice and low, and back up again. Make sure your knees go over your toes, don't want them going out to the sides or in. Okay, so we're going to be doing 12. Ready to my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going. 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11, 12. Excellent. Give your legs a shake. Brilliant. Okay, next exercise we are going to do press-ups. So, good roll. We've got 4 press-ups to do. So if you can, try and push yourselves and do them on your feet. If that is still too tricky, stay on your knees like we have done in all the other videos. Today, I'm going to see if I can do them on my feet. We ready? 1. Try and get nice and low. 2. And 2 more. 3. Last 1. 4. Excellent, well done. Okay, the next exercise, we're going to do an exercise called a V-sit. I'm going to show you what that looks like first. So you're going to lie down on your backs, arms back above your head. You're going to lift up to touch your toes to sit up like the letter V. Like this. And then back down. And make sure your arms go all the way back to the floor as well as your legs before we lift up again. And go down. Okay, let me get the dice. See how many of these we've got. 5. So, everyone lie down on your backs. Arms back on the floor. And 1. Back down. 2. 3. 4. Reach up to your feet. Last one. 5. Very good. Okay, well done. Right, this time we are going to do burpees. So, that's when we're in a press-up shape. You jump your feet into your hands, do a big stretch up to the ceiling, back down, and then back out into a press-up shape. Okay. Oh, burpees are my enemy, so I hope I don't get the highest number on here. 8 burpees. Okay, not too bad. So we're going to start down in our press-up shape. Make sure when you jump up to the ceiling, you lift your arms all the way up as well. So starting down here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and bend your knees as much as you can. 5, 6. Nearly there, keep going. 7. Last one. 8. Back down. Very good. Well done, everybody. Okay, this time we're going to take it into a reverse press-up. So, similar to our normal press-ups, but we're going to do it in a reverse shape with our legs bent, so you can try and keep your hips lifted. So you're just going to bend your arms as much as you can and push back up again. Try and get your arm into a right angle shape. Okay, let me grab the dice. Right, we've got 10 of those ones. When you do it, fingers need to be facing your bottoms as well. Okay, so we're going to lift up. And go. 1, 2, 3. Try your hardest not to let your bottom touch the floor. 4, so you're using all your arms. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. 10. Well done, very good. Okay, this one we need to stand up, so everyone jump up. You're going to place your feet together, and we're going to do ankle raises. So, rising all the way up to your toes, and then back down again. Try not to let your ankles come out to the side, keep them glued together. Okay, we've got 10 of these ones as well. So, feet together, hands on your hips, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Go as high as you can. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Okay, this time we're back down onto the floor. We're going to do a crunching. So, we're going to be in a dish shape. So just balancing on the lower part of our backs and your bottom. And you're going to crunch in, back out to your dish. Crunch in, and back out to your dish. Okay, see how many of these we've got to do. Right, we've got 8 of these ones. So, starting in your dish shape, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keep it going, nearly there, 7, last one, 8. Excellent. Okay, this time we're going to do an arch lift. So, we're going to lie down on the floor. Now you need to make sure your head stays facing forward, with your forehead on the floor. So forehead on the floor, hands placed on your back, linking your fingers together so you're nice and square. And you're going to lift up to an arch shape, and down. Go up, and down. Try and glue those feet together when you're doing it as well. Try not to let your legs come apart. Okay, we have got 5 of these ones. So, laying down on your tummies, place your hands onto your back, and lifting. 1, down. 2, down. 3, 2 more. 4, last one, up. Down. Good work. Okay, we're nearly there. We've got 2 more exercises. So this one we're going to do, I like to call them Supermans. So we're going to lie down on our tummies again. We you're going to place your fingertips onto your shoulders, and then you have to stretch your arms out and back in again. Out and back in again. Keeping everything on the floor apart from your arms. So I'll give you a demonstration. Forehead onto the floor, hands onto your shoulders, we go out and in, out and in. Okay. We have got to do 12 of these ones, okay, that's a good number. Right, lying down, forehead on the floor again, hands placed on your shoulders, and 1, 2, 3, try and keep your arms narrow, 4, 5, fingers close together at the top, 6, 7, 8, 4 more, 9, 10, keep going, 11, last one, 12. Good work. So you should have felt that one into your shoulders. Alright, last exercise we're going to do, sit-ups. So, if you need someone to sit on your feet, that's fine, go grab somebody to help you out on these ones, or you can place your feet under a sofa, or anything similar, where you've got pressure on your feet, or you can try and do them by yourselves. So bent knees, you're going to lie back down, sit all the way up. Last exercise, we have got, 4. Not too bad. Right, lying down. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent, good work everybody. Okay, go grab yourselves a quick drink before we get into our general warm-up. Okay, when you've got yourselves a drink, go stand back in your space again. And then we'll get into our warm-up. So, nice big spaces to start with. Arms out to the side, make sure you're not touching anything. If you're not touching anything and you're in space, arms down by your side, feet apart. And we're going to start by lifting our heads up and down to the ceiling and the floor. Lift that neck all the way up so you do feel a stretch. And head side to side. Try and look right over your shoulders. Okay, we're going to take one arm round backwards. And the other arm. Keep that arm straight as you can. And both arms together. Try and make your arms go as close to your ears as you can. And forwards with one arm. Good work. And the other arm. And both together. Okay, well done. Right, we're going to place our hands on our hips and we're going to do some big circles today. Try not to do these ones too fast. And swapping sides. Okay, well done. Right, lean over to one side. And a big stretch. Now we're going to do the same as what we did the other week, last week. So we're going to go over to the other side. Stretch, and forwards again, and stretch your arm out forwards. I'll turn to the side so you can see the back one, hands on your hips, legs straight, leaning back, looking up at the ceiling, and stretch your arms up. Well done. Okay, big stretch up to the ceiling, and really relax into your stretch, and try and get your hands onto the floor. And we're going to try and touch our toes. Stretch your hands right through the middle of your legs, as far as you can get your hands, and up to the ceiling. Okay, we'll do that one again. So down to the floor. Try not to hold yourself out of this stretch. Relax into it as much as you can. And touch your toes. Hands through the middle of your legs. Try and place your fingertips on the floor if you can. If not, hands all the way through as far as you can is fine too. And up to the ceiling. Okay, give your legs a shake. Right, so we're going to do the same stretch with our feet together. So we're going to start touching the floor, we're going to touch our toes, then we're going to take our arms out to the side while you're leaning forward, and then stand up and stretch. Okay, so stretching up tall, breathing in, and breathing out, and taking it down to the floor. And touching your toes. Take your arms out to the side. and stretch up to it. Okay, good work, well done. Right, hands and knees next, flat hands on the floor, fingers forwards, gently rocking forwards and backwards. And fingers to the side and going side to side. Fingers facing your knees. Gentle rocks forwards and backwards, and fingers facing each other. Okay, sitting back so your bottoms are on your heels, arms forwards, and stretching out nice and low to the floor. Well done, and take it through the middle. Pushing up as tall as you can, open those shoulders up. And if you can, see if you can bend your legs and try and get your toes to touch your head. And sitting back again. Stretch everything out. Excellent, well done. Okay, we're going to sit into a pipe shape now. So legs forwards. Right, leaning forwards, lifting one leg off the floor, circle that ankle round. And stretch that leg out again. Swap foot. Circle that ankle round. Hold on to that leg and stretch it out. Okay, sitting up tall and leaning forwards as far as you can. You should really feel this one behind the backs of your legs. See if you can try and aim to get your nose down to your knees. Really try and keep up your flexibility work. Okay, well done. Right, sitting into a straddle now. Arms out to the side, crossing one arm over, other arm to your ear, and leaning to the side. Remember about keeping both legs flat on the floor. Try not to lift up, we don't want any gaps. Okay, over to the other side. Well done. Right, we're going to place our hands under our chin and try and get our elbows to the floor. And then slowly just walk your hands out as far as you can. Very good. Okay, bring those knees together. I'm just going to drop down into a butterfly stretch. Place your hands on your knees and just gently press them down to the floor. Remember, don't push yourselves too hard. You don't want to be in too much pain. Just a gentle stretch is good. Okay, so before we move on to doing our splits today, we're going to warm up with our lunges like we have done before. But then we're going to go into some hip flexor and quad stretches before we go into our splits today. So, starting off with our lunges. Front leg bent, back leg straightens, press those hips down into the floor. Now today you're going to bend that back knee, keep your front knee bent. You're just going to come up and press that hip as far down to the floor as you can. So you feel a gentle stretch through your groin and into your quad. Okay, well done, swap legs. So into a lunge. Well done. And bend that back knee on the floor. Keep your front leg where it is, sitting up. Try and focus on something in front of you that isn't moving to keep your balance. So you want to keep your body as upright as you can. Pressing that hip down into the floor. Okay, well done. Right, this time you're going to sit with your front knee bent like this, so in a right angle, and your back leg bent as well. And you're going to lean over your front leg so you can feel that stretch into your hip. Well done. Trying to keep your knee flat onto the floor. And swap sides. Good, well done. Okay, another way of doing this exercise, you're going to bend one knee underneath you like this, and cross the other leg over, keeping your knee flat on the floor, and then you're just going to stretch over this top leg, and you should feel it in here, in your hip again. So just lean over as much as you can. If you can stretch your arms forwards just to increase that stretch. And swap legs. much as you can. Feel that stretch. Okay, right, I'm just going to grab something to use. So if we just wait there 1 second. Okay, so we're going to do a stretch now for our quads. So you need to find something flat where you can rest your back leg again. So it could be anything like a wall or a sofa, a chair, table leg, anything like that is fine. So you're going to bend your back leg up it, and your front leg just going to go forwards. And your aim is just to stay as flat as you can, with your knee bent in as close to your support as you can. Keep your hip open, try not to pike because you won't feel the stretch. Press that hip forwards, and that really should feel it down into your quads. Excellent, well done. Swap legs. And we go. So again, hip open, try not to pike. Front leg is bent. You feel that right down your quad and up into your groin as well. Try and keep your back up straight. Good, well done. Okay, come back into your spaces. And we're going to head into our splits now. So, same as before, starting. Back leg on the floor, front leg straight. Place your hands either side of your straight leg and just slide down as far as you go. And you're just going to sit there where it's comfortable, but again where you do feel a stretch. Try and make sure that your hips are both facing forwards. So when you slide down, you should feel your hips forwards. As soon as you feel any sort of twist, that means you're not actually in splits anymore. Okay, well done. And swap legs. Straight leg at the front, back leg bent, hands either side of your leg. Slide down as much as you can. That's it. Now this leg isn't my good leg. So as you can see, I can't actually get all the way to the floor, so I'm just holding it where it is stretching, but it's also more comfortable too. So as I said in the previous videos, you probably will find that you'll have one leg more flexible than the other, which is perfectly normal. Just try and work on that leg as much as you can, see if you can get it equal to your good leg. Okay, excellent, well done. Out we come. Right, just going to warm up for box splits, and then we'll get a quick drink and do some jumps and some leaps. So, into our side lunges. Both feet on the floor, both heels on the floor. Straight leg, your knee needs to be facing up to the ceiling. And swap sides. Well done. And swap sides again, and this time we're going to flex our foot up to the ceiling, so your toes are pointing upwards. And to the other side, flex that foot. Okay, well done. Right, hands down in front of you and slide your feet down as far as you can go into your box splits. Like I said in the last video, I had a knee operation last year and that's a little bit uncomfortable on my knee. So if you do have an injury and it does hurt doing your box splits, you can try and bend your knees, go onto your elbows and let it relax down to the floor. So you look a bit like a frog. Turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. Again, I'm not very flexible this way round anymore either. So I'm just holding it where I can. Okay, well done everybody. Right, give your legs a little bit of a shake. Go grab yourselves a drink and then we'll come back and we'll be doing some jumps. Okay, make sure you've got enough room around you again. We're going to do some different shapes of jumps and leaps that are used every day in gymnastics. So we're going to start off with the easy ones and we'll get our way through and make our way to some harder ones. So, like in the videos beforehand, when you do a landing, you have to bend your knees, arms come forwards, and you've got to try and stand still. So first jump we're going to do is a straight jump. So arms swing from behind, we're jumping up, and we're landing. Okay, have a few practices of that one. See if you can land every single jump with no movement. That is your aim. Okay, if you do move around, doesn't matter. Just see if you can improve it on your next go. So arms go from behind, bend your knees, swing it up and down. Now the thing that makes a straight jump is your body being completely straight. So when you jump, try not to pike in your hip and try not to arch either. You've got to pull up as tall as you can and come to your landing. Okay, good. Right, the next jump we're going to do is a tuck jump. Now we did these in the last two videos as well as part of our warm-up. So both knees need to lift all the way up to your chest and come down into your landing. So your hip angle completely closes. Okay, so knees go up and we stand still. Good, have a few practices. Try and get your knees to touch your tummies if you can. Try to let your legs go behind you, and you don't want a big gap here either. Because if you compete one of these in a competition in gymnastics, and you have a big gap and an angle, get marks taken off. So get those knees up as high as you can. Okay, well done. Right, the next jump we're going to do is a star jump. So your legs have to go out and back in again by the time you land on the floor. So go out and in. Stand still. Good, have a few goes at those as well. Again, same as your straight jump with this, you've got to keep your hip as flat as you can, so your body is nice and straight in the air. So out to the side here, you don't want to pike, and we don't want to arch either. Try not to let your legs come forwards. I mean, if you've got something like a line, you can always practice it along a line. So you do your start jump, you have to land back on the line again. When you do your standing jumps, you don't want to be travelling, you have to try and stand in the spot. So if you've got anything, whether it be a hoop or like a rope or something you can make into a hoop, you could always do it inside that to make yourself a little target area, or you could do it on a line, or if you've got like a little carpet square or anything, just to make sure that you're not moving. Okay, now the next jump we're going to do is a pike jump. So with a pike jump, same as the shape that we do when sat on the floor in our warm-up, both legs are going to lift up forwards and you touch your toes. So I'll turn to the side. I might not be as good as this as what I used to be, but we'll give it a go. Start with your arms up, you're going to swing down, jump up, and lift up to your toes. Oh, and I fell over. Try and hold that landing. Okay, have a few practices of that. The aim is to get your legs all the way up in between your arms. So you're reaching both arms forwards and your legs come up to your arms. Okay, have a few goes at that. I'm just going to rearrange my camera. So I'm going to do a little bit of cheating for the next skill. Okay, well done. Right, for this next one, I'm using a fast track. My legs don't work fast anymore for this one. So this one we're going to do a straddle jump. So with a straddle jump, your legs have to come up as wide as they possibly can. Both hands go out to touch your feet as well. Same as before, try not to lean forward. Don't let your arms come down or forwards either. Take them out to the side as it will keep your chest lifted. So we'll go out and back into land. So if you do have a trampoline or something, you can always practice your jumps on that, as it's a little bit easier, as it gives you a bit more spring and lift out of the floor. So you've got a little bit more time in the air to do your shape. If you don't, it doesn't matter. It's always really good to try and practice on the floor. Makes you work a little bit harder as well. There we go. Good, well done. Make sure you have enough practice at all of the jumps. Okay, right, the next jump we're going to do is something called a W jump. So, everyone sitting down on the floor. You're going to sit back so your bottoms are on your heels. Stretch one leg out in front, making sure your knees are together and your arms go forwards. Now this is a W shape. So this is the shape that we're going to try and do in the air. So you've got to make sure when you do it, you keep your knees together. Now most people when they try this one for the first time, their knees do come apart as it is more natural. So you've got to try and lift one knee up to like a tuck jump, and the other leg stretched out in front of you. Okay? I'll face the side, and it looks like this. Okay? Well done. Have a few tries. With your straight leg, keep it as straight as possible. Try not to let it bend. So you can actually see the W shape. It's called a W jump because the real name for it is actually a wolf jump. I don't know why, but we just name it W jump because it's easier. Okay, good work. Right, next jump we're going to try and do, jump into splits. So, one leg's going to go forwards, one leg's going to go backwards. Do this on your good leg splits, as you'll probably get your legs up a little bit higher. Try and keep your leg at the back as straight as possible, and you're going to jump into splits, taking your arms out to the sides in this jump. So start it up, we're going to bend, notice on the way back down that your legs actually move quite slowly, so you have to physically move your legs down as fast as you can to get your feet back together again. Okay, so one front leg up as high as you can, back leg up as high as you can. Okay, and again, try and hold those landings, no moving. Bend your knees, press down into the floor hard, and really strong arms too. Okay, well done. Right, next jump we are going to do a stag jump. So, with a stag jump, your front leg bends and your back leg is straight. Now this jump, we're going to do off of 2 feet, but to land on one leg. So you're going to take off from 2 feet, land on one leg into like this small arabesque, and then you just step forwards to finish it off. Okay, so I'll show you one. So we'll start with our arms up again. Bend, push, and step through. So when you land, you've got to have a really strong leg into the floor. Try not to let your knee go sideways or be wobbly. Front leg bent, back leg straight, and arms out to the side too. Okay, well done. Right, next jump we are going to do a jump half turn. Now you do need to make sure you have some space for this jump, so don't want you falling over, going sideways, and crashing into anything around you. So, feet together, we're going to start with our arms up. When you do this jump, arms come back up to your ears to help you spin around. So we're just going to do a half turn first, so you're going to finish facing the opposite direction. So arms up, we're going to swing them down, they jump up, and then land. Good, we'll do it one more time, back round to face the camera, and swing them down, up, land. So try and pull yourselves up on your side, staying as straight as you can for those ones. Okay, a couple more to go. So this time, we're going to do something called a cat leap. Now with a cat leap, you have to lift both your knees, one at a time, up as close to your tummy as you can. So again, this is taking off of one foot and landing on one foot. So going 1, 2. See how my knees came up really high on that one? And 1, 2. Now it's good with this one to practice on both legs. So you can start with your left leg, next time start with your right leg. That's it, have a few more goes with that one. With this one as well, you can also do a couple in a row. So I'll show you a few in a row. So I'm going to swing my arms up, and go again, and again. And you can just keep going to see how many you can fit in. Okay, on to the last jump. We are going to do a split leap. So, start this one off, nice and simple. Lift one leg up, and jump over onto your other foot. As if you're stepping over a puddle, stepping over a line, anything like that. So that is action you need to do with your legs. Now to make it a split leap, you have to try and go through splits. So like this. Okay? Now you might find this one a little bit easier if you take a couple of steps into it maybe. Not a run, just a few steps, just to build up a little bit of momentum, like this. So arms out to the sides in that one, keeping your shoulders up, and try and make your legs nice and equal. Strong leg on landing again as well. Okay, keep going with that, have another couple of practices. I'm just going to grab myself a drink. If you need a drink, grab one yourselves too. Okay, good work today, everybody. Right, that's all I've got time for. Again, I hope you all had fun. Remember, if you do want me to do anything for your next weeks, comment down below. Also, you can join all the other activities through the Active Sussex website. Give all the other sports a go too. I'll be back again next Wednesday at 3 o'clock with some more different things for you all to do. Thank you, see you all soon. Bye.